Now that you and I are in 2025, it made me look through the previous years, and I thought to myself, hey, why don't I rank each year based on the Fnaf content we got? And also because of the 10-year anniversary, before we begin, every year before 2014, it's F tier, since they didn't have any Fnaf things. Also, I'll both rank them in quality and variety in mind, so like and subscribe, and let's start with number 10. The worst year for FNAF fans, 2020. Also the worst year for people in general. Let's reveal what we got in 2020. These books. Now, the Fazbear Fright series of books isn't bad per se, it's just books. The year was really disappointing, no games. FNAF only had one leg to stand on in 2020. However, the big thing that happened in 2020 probably played a big role in it, but still, FNAF during this year was a drought, and that's why it's the last place. Nothing much happened during the year, at least we had Security Breach to look forward to. Oh man, the days when we didn't know. The world was so innocent back then. However, yeah, Steel Wolf was working on Security Reach, which is like asking me to have a decent upload schedule. Number 11. Picture this, man. We went through 2020, we just got books from only one series, but hey, Security Breach came out in 2020, which I will speak about that in more detail later. I have some things to say about this game. Whatever. Now next year, books again! It barely, and I mean barely, misses the last spot. We got these books that expand the Security Breach lore, a Security Breach guide, and some graphic novels. However, this year is much more offensive to me than 2020, because at least that year had the excuse of the big bad thing that happened, and at least there was a big build up towards the biggest FNAF game to date. 2020 was not a good year for FNAF fans. The most exciting thing was honestly the news of the FNAF movie. That was pretty cool. Number 10. 2018. We got Ultimate Custom Night and the 4th Closet book. Now this year ain't so bad. It was decent considering the FNAF franchise was still growing during this time, and considering it's not a bad year at all. The 4th Closet was a very good conclusion to the book trilogy, and it was really good and exciting. I liked it. As far as the game, it's a game. You can definitely tell Scott was really pushing Click Team to the limits. There's a reason so many jump scares are just shaking PNG. This game was cool, yeah, but it feels like more of a game that releases in between two games to keep the fans happy, which I guess it kinda is. But it still was pretty disappointing. This was the only thing we got this year. Even though I know and understand that being a one-man army, it's hard to make games, it's still disappointing, though Ultimate Custom Night did bring in some very cool elements in the franchise. Number 9, 2017. The year where these things were relevant. Ugandan Knuckles, Somebody Touch My Spaghetti, truly classics that no doubt make millions of people burst into laughter on a daily basis. This video isn't about shitty memes, let's see what came out this year. The biggest thing is Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, which is a fairly controversial title. I personally dislike the gameplay of the night sections, however you can't argue that this game didn't bring in a lot of charm and characters that have become staples to the franchise, as well as things like this. Yeah, I'm happy with this game, even if it was the only one we got this year. That connection terminated ending was absolutely wild, and man, I just rewatch it from time to time. But along with this game we got Freddy Files and the Twisted Ones, which is, well, the worst one of the trilogy. Oops. Still a decent year for FNAF though. Number 8, 2016. So we got two games, FNAF World and Sister Location. Okay, I can hear the shotguns. Personally, I'm not a fan of either of these two games. But hey, at least we got games. Sister Location was a very different FNAF game. Instead of the traditional night gameplay, it was more so of a collection of FNAF minigames sort of that had terrible checkpoints. Why do I have to go through the entire Battle Royale gallery again after dying to Funtime Freddy? Why do we barely see Circus Baby, the main antagonist of the game? Why don't I have any friends? The custom night was goated though. Even though I don't really like Sister Location, it is a full FNAF game that brought a lot of new stuff to the table, so at least it gets credit for that. Now on to number 7. In number 7 we have, okay, fine. I guess I have to talk about it. Five Nights at Freddy's World. There's a reason I have yet to mention FNAF World on this channel. One of those is that I cannot pronounce World and I'm scared people are gonna make fun of me. But it's a game that gained a bit of a cult following in the community, and I don't really like it. I'm sorry, okay? It was pretty weird for Scott to randomly make this type of game, like the ones he used to make before Fnaf. Overall, pretty solid year for a solo Scott in terms of releases, but personally, not in their individual quality. But a ton of people absolutely adore these two games, and I don't want to take that away from them. At number 6, we have 2024. Man, it feels like this year was just a few weeks ago. Oh, I already made that joke in the beginning? Well, oh. So in 2024, the big boy release was the Into the Pit game, which is based off of Into the Pit. Riveting reporting and documentation done by me, I know. I'm happy with this game. It is a fun way to explore new areas of the franchise, and let's say I certainly like it a lot more than another Fnaf spin-off. The game has a gorgeous art style and it keeps the spirit and atmosphere of Fnaf. It still feels like a Fnaf thing, with this new more open 2D like story focused game. It wasn't perfect of course, but I really enjoyed it and look forward to more games like these. I feel like this story about the time traveling ball pit has run its course now, don't you think? You got some more graphical novels and interactive novels which I didn't read it yet. I'm so in Fazbear Frights, and at this point I have like 15 books to catch up. It's no easy task. We also got Security Breach Files Updated Edition. I feel like that Into the Pit game dragged this year up by a lot. Plus, let's not forget this was FNAF's 10-year anniversary. That week was amazing, even if we had to wait an entire day to get some news about the collab. And I can't believe some people genuinely thought it would be Stumble Guys. Overall, good year. Number 5. This is where the ranking gets really difficult to make, but I did it. Surgeons saving people's lives? Pilots piloting giant flying machines? Pfft, that's nothing on the difficult task of ranking FNAF years. 2019. The big boy game this time around was Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. And it hurts to put this here. I remember the hype season for this game, and it's a good game. It's a fun VR experience that adapts existing FNAF games along with making new FNAF minigames that are playable in VR. Now some of the older FNAF games are a bit ruined in this game, like you can just spam reboot the whole time. But for the game as a whole, I think it's really good and I really get why people call this their favorite FNAF game. We also got Freddy in Space 2. It is a thing that we got, the game that made Rule 34 canon. We also got the Silver Eyes graphic novel, which I'm not gonna comment on. I'm just gonna show you these screenshots and let you figure out how I feel about this. Into the Pit also sneaks just in time for 2019, which fine introduction to the Fazbear Fright series. And also we got FNAF AR. If you like spinning, this is the game for you. If you like shit like Liberty Chica and Shamrock Freddy, this game is also for you. If you like being able to pay for your college education, this game is not for you. Number 4, everyone's favorite fourth number. I'm gonna give this one to 2021. Let's cut right to the chase, Security Breach. Now I have quite a few things to say about Security Breach, but let's all agree that Security Breach is a really large game and it brought some good to the world, like really cool cutscenes and DJ Music Man, DJ Up. This is the first free-roam FNAF game. These two don't count. There was a lot of hype surrounding this game, and it is a big release. The biggest FNAF release to date, so this alone puts this year quite up there. Along with that, we got these books. I'm not gonna tell you what they are. They're on the screen. No FNAF book makes me repulse or anything, it's just a FNAF book, what more can I say? Here it gets really tough, and someone will hire an assassin to take me out for the things I have said, I am saying, and will say. 2014, yup, the beginning. FNAF and FNAF 2, that's it. And you know what? It's enough. These two games spark a massive franchise, and they do get my respect. I think they're good games. FNAF 1 for its unique resource management. Like, you'd know FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 if you're watching this video. You know why they're so beloved. Like, these are two very good games, right? But the next two have more of like a community. I'm just gonna talk about what the next two have that I feel like these two miss. So let's head right to it. Now, number 2 we have 2015. This is a banger year. We got FNAF 3, which is a game I will defend to the death. It's good, I swear it's good. I really like FNAF 3. And Springtrap, very epic. FNAF 4, I like it too. Both of these games introduce a lot of new lore, and FNAF 4 used a really fun mechanic of trying to blow out your eardrums, which is really fun to watch funny Markiplier man get scared at when you're in the front seat yourself. it stops being that fun. It gets fun and holy shit, anytime one of these nightmarish monsters will create a sound so bad my $2 Logitech speakers are gonna fly into the wall, knock back, break my nose, catch on fire, and kill me. Highly recommend. We also got the Silver Eyes book, which I'm a really big fan of. I love this book and I still love it. I really like the story, how it adapts Fnaf into an actual story, and not just about big evil scary robot slasher movie type. Overall, fantastic year with high quality releases, personally my second favorite year, because I absolutely love everything here. And number 1, you probably know it already, 2023. And the big orange mediocre melody elephant in the room is the Fnaf movie. Almost since the beginning, this thing has been hyped up. It released and it didn't disappoint. At least fans of the franchise. This movie was an absolutely massive deal and it alone propels this year very high. However, in addition, we also got Help Wanted 2, a sequel to Help Wanted. It focuses on Sister Location and beyond, and it's absolutely peak. The Ballora and Fun Night Freddy levels are the only times I actually got panic attacks from a video game, and I absolutely love this game for it, even if it has some sillier minigames like the ones where the big chef makes fun of you, and the Rox and Wolf one, which, poor Roxy, you didn't deserve what those heathens did to you. Good game. Yeah, I just like it. In addition, we also got the FNAF cookbook, which, I mean, hey, I always wanted to drink Monty's. We also got more books, which is like cool. I think 2023 is the best year because we got a big game and a movie. That is a massive deal. Yeah, the 10th year anniversary year too. Community was just, I feel like, at its peak with a bunch of community stuff, and I think community does matter when we take a look at these years. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments what you think the best year for FNAF was. Like and subscribe, and goodbye.